All right, let's talk about the difference between traditional tarot or intuitive tarot. There's been a lot of debate on this about on social media over time, and I've had people say shitty things to me even when I used to read on live. But traditional tarot, it's a structured approach. You rely on the established meanings and symbolism in each card, and there's so much depth and detailed. I do this a little, but not a lot, okay? So in each module, I'm going to go through and make a video in my Decked Out Divination class here that you're interested in, or you're whatever. And this will be both on TikTok for free, and it will be part of my modules. I'm talking to both of you, but whatever. I can't serve all masters. The whole point is I'm going to do videos of me going through my own meanings and what I take the cards to mean and my different definitions of them. And then I'm also going to give you the textbook meanings in written form in my video. So some of them are the same, some of them are different. Some of them I don't read the textbook meanings, but it's just my meaning for it, and people seem to like the way I read. So there's two different ways to do that, but the traditional tarot is like the well tried and true worn out path, and that's why you'll hear people speak in a certain vernacular when you know that they know the cards. Like 10 of Cups, people will say total wish fulfillment. That's not a phrase that we use in modern English, at least not in the States at this point in time. So I was like kind of laugh, So I try to make it a little more contemporary in their meanings too. I've studied and read a lot of different definitions, and I watched a lot of other tarot readers and aggregated it. So intuitive tarot reading though, I want to talk about reading auric fields. I talked a little bit about it already, but you can do this practice with a friend. If you have them stand in front of a white wall in front of you and get really grounded and centered, and then just take a deep breath, and then take a piece of paper and draw like a stick figure, a big stick figure, and then go ahead and just everything using all four of your clairs. So clairvoyance can be internal or external seeing. Claircognizance is internal or external knowing. Clairsentience is feeling, and clairaudience is hearing, and both of them can be internal and external. So using all your clairs, what do you see in their auric field? Do you see yellow on their chest? Can you tell by the clothes that they're picking out that they love purple and it just kind of suits them? Can you see a luminous? Some people can actually see auras around people. That's not really what I'm talking about. Maybe you see a truck like internally in your head when you're looking at them. You write down everything and where you see it and what parts of the body. Maybe you see a big dark blockage over their tummy, anything you see. And I like to close my eyes. If you're a glasses wearer, take them off. So I wear glasses almost all the time. But when I'm doing divination or any of this work, I take it off because I just want to be a little fuzzy. And I have long lashes, so sometimes I squint my eyes and I just look through my lashes, and it makes everything a little easier to see. It gets you in that luminous state. Because most people, even that see ghosts or external clairvoyance, have a hard time seeing them dead on right in front of you. You see it in your peripheral much more easily, right? Because the brain can't really comprehend. So start with that. And then if you close your eyes and just sense in again with that fuzzy eye squint, what do you know? Like one time I was doing this for someone and I was just like, banana splits and banana smoothies. And she started crying and she's like, oh my gosh, my dad, he passed away, but every morning when I was little, we would make these banana smoothies. It was our thing. So that we carry information like that in our auric field. If you hear a song, that's how you use clairaudience. What do you hear? There might be songs in their auric field. They're just names. Or remember, when you're using your clairs, there's no rules. So you might hear hot weather, or you might smell the color yellow. Like, it doesn't have to make sense. Write down everything you're sensing about the whole thing. And then tell the person everything you read. It's more fun when you do it with a stranger because, but you can do it with loved ones and then have them switch and do it for you. There will be things, some of the things won't make sense, but others will be like, they make so much sense. And you're like, how did you know that? And it kind of proves it out. So that's a nice little fun exercise for you to do. But I basically do that. Now I open sacred space and I call in my spirit team before I start reading. And, you know, you don't have to, but you got to know what you're sourcing from and if it's real. So when you're doing intuitive tarot, I open sacred space in the prayer I'm going to share here, or at least pray to whomever or whatever it is. For a while, I used to specifically call on the land spirits of the place of your birth. So for me, I was born on St. Mary's Hill in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I would say, come into this place, the Santa Tierras, the land spirits of St. Mary's Hill in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, on behalf of Angela Curro, right? I would call it in with specificity before ever reading. You can call in the ancestors, gods, goddesses, spirit guides, power animals, the whole team. You can call the whole flipping team. You can call on God, you can call on Source, you can call on Mother Earth. But I encourage you to call on someone, because otherwise you don't know if it's some jackass trickster demon in the next room who hears you and comes in and informs you. Like, you really don't know. And some people, so again, shaman, we source from the light. I consider myself on the light side of things. I don't like sorcery or anything that incurs karmic debt intentionally. I do enough of that on my own daily, just as failing as a human. And I am more on the Christianity side of things. So I don't do like spells or witchcraft or any of that stuff too. And some people do, that's fine. But some of them are sourcing from dark entities or demons, and that's their practice. But again, I wouldn't want to get a reading from anyone that's doing that, because it just doesn't vibe with me. So ask what people are sourcing from, and then even if you want to source from something very different than me, that's fine, but I would encourage you to know what you're sourcing from. So basically, you have the cards, you have a general sense for the meaning. Like, I know that this card, and this is the before tarot deck, so it's a little different. This card is about knowing what you want to say, but just kind of waiting in reflection a moment before you are going to say anything, right? All right, so if I'm reading for someone on live and I'm sensing it in the auric field, and let's just say they have a story about whether or not they should break up with someone, I'd say, you know what you want to say, but it's not the time. I would chill the fuck out on that. I would sit your ass down for a little bit, and then I would read the auric field about what else, and the cards around it too, because maybe the next card would say, okay, they're never going to change, but this card, but wait for them to do something spiteful that's just going to prove that they're an asshole. And even, I know you don't think there's other things out there that are better for you, but if you take a little break from this, you'll realize they don't know how to take care of themselves, and you were taking care of them the whole time. Okay, so you see what I'm doing? I'm taking the cards, I'm taking the meaning, but I'm really reading, and I did just like call upon a random energetic field of someone I knew, so I could read an auric field of someone I knew. I had their permission, and permission is a big thing too. Don't read people without their permission, you know? But it's the cards around it also matter, but I go more off of what I'm feeling. It's more fun for me on live because I don't know your face, I know nothing about you, I don't look at anyone's social media, I don't fucking care. And if you look at my astrology or my human design, it kind of proves that. I just shared that earlier. I'm in energetic Switzerland. I'm laying on the couch just watching TV with my son half the time when I'm home, or playing with my dog. So if you can be neutral, it really does help. And then the other thing too is be ethical about your reading. You know, we all pull cards on people we have crushes on or whatever, and I think it's whatever you think about it is whatever it is. It's something I like to just think about sometimes, but there's some things I won't do anymore, and there's some things with clients that I'm like, no, I don't think that's helpful, and so like I don't want to do that. Like, one of the things on live that I say no to is when someone's like, does he find his new girlfriend more attractive than me? Why is that helpful? Even if he does, I don't know. Like, what I'd rather take that. Sometimes the answer is in the question. Or the other thing about divination questions that can be wrong too, there are such things as bad divination questions. If someone just says, am I going to get married this year? Well, you could go find the grossest guy on Tinder that just is hard up because nobody wants to be with him. He's a bum. He doesn't work. He has an ugly personality. He's drunk all the time. He's homeless. He also is physically ugly. Whatever. And you could just go marry him. Be specific about your questions, people, you know, and then you'll get more specific guidance. If you do a general reading, sometimes those can be helpful, I get it, but like, I don't know. I like having a good question. Maybe it's the shamanic path in me. So we're going to explore both, but I want to just explain the difference of like what I'm doing when I just did that here. I'm going with it. I'm reading the person of filth. I'm reading them. I'm using all my clairs. You can develop all of them and you can be there too. There's nobody that's more suited for this than others. It's achievable with practice, and I encourage you to do so and trust your own intuition and be open to knowing that you are just as deserving of receiving messages from spirit as me or anyone else. I love you.